Rosalie, California. The Mojave's buried ghost town. Out in the shadow of the Clark Mountains, where the Mojave stretches quiet and unforgiving, something strange still scars there. They call it Rosalie. Others know it as Valley Wells. But what's left doesn't rise from the earth like most ghost towns. It sinks into it. Rosalie was born around 1898, built to serve the nearby Copper World mine. For a brief moment, it pulsed with life. Men, mules, fire, and the promise of copper wealth buried deep in the mountains. But this wasn't a town of wooden buildings and dusty saloons. Wood was scarce, supplies were thin, so the miners adapted. They dug. Homes weren't built, they were carved into the earth itself. Dugouts hollowed into washbanks became shelter from brutal heat and desert winds. From above, it didn't look like a town at all, just wounds in the earth scattered and unnatural. By 1899, a 50-ton smelter was running, turning raw ore into copper. Mule teams dragged heavy loads across miles of pustos, hauling bullion toward the nearest rail lines. For a moment, Rosalie mattered. Then it unraveled. Around 1900, everything collapsed. The mine's president reportedly vanished, and with him, the money. Whether he fled, died, or simply disappeared into the desert, no one knows for certain. What's left is the aftermath. A workforce abandoned, a town drained of purpose overnight. Mining lingered in the area for a few more years, even into the early 1900s, but Rosalie itself never recovered. The dugouts were left behind, empty, swallowed by silence. What remains today? Now, Rosalie is easy to miss. There's no skyline, no standing streets, just fragments. Shallow depressions where homes once sank into the earth. Crumbling adobe traces barely holding shape. Blackened slag piles from the old smelter. A small, weathered cemetery where most names are gone. It doesn't feel abandoned in the usual way. It feels erased. Rosalie's stories don't come from towering ruins or famous shootouts. They come from what's missing. Visitors talk about the unease, standing in what looks like empty desert, only to realize they're walking through the remains of buried homes. The cemetery adds another layer. Many graves are unmarked, lost to wind and time, holding miners who never made it out. And then there's the story of the vanished man, the one who took the money and left everything to rot. Some say that's when the place turned, like the desert itself rejected what was built there. Out here, the Mojave doesn't forgive. It keeps what's left. If you go looking, Rosalie sits near the Valley Wells area off Interstate 15, not far from the California-Nevada line, within the Mojave National Preserve region near the Clark Mountain Range. There's no official marker calling it out. No signs telling you what you're standing in. Just scattered remains and a silence that feels heavier than it should. If you find it, respect it. Leave everything where it rests. Because places like this don't like being disturbed. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe as we roam the lost.